Hi, my name is Emily Esdale and welcome to my degree show for the MFA. The show is called Here Not Here. So a little bit about me before I get into my work. So I am a visual artist. My undergrad is in photography and video, but from the MFA I've sort of delved into different methods. So photography would still be predominantly the main way I would produce work, but also with video, which I didn't really do so much in the BA, and now text is quite a large part within my practice as well. My work consists of 13 photographic images printed onto perspex, and then they're framed, and I have lights behind them to create this light box effect, and I also have a separate video in another dark space. So whenever you walk in here, it's totally dark and you just get the lights coming through these perspex prints. I find it really immersive. Whenever you walk in, you're sort of drawn to these images. Sometimes they're not the most clear of what they could be. They're quite ambiguous landscapes, which is important for me to create for my work, because the work, it's very personal to me. It's been mainly about focusing on the past few months. I haven't had a great past few months. I think a lot of people throughout this year, it hasn't been great for them, but unfortunately I got a bit of bad news a few months ago, and this has sort of been my process behind dealing with it all. So it's sort of been this grieving process before the grief happens, but you know that the grief is going to happen at some stage, and then photographing everything afterwards. So it's nearly been an archive for me. Some of these photos, like I say, have been before the moment, and some of them have been after. But my work has always sort of explored this connection with landscape and how landscape affects our feelings really, and how it triggers memories and emotions. This sort of journey I was on, where I went to these places that I would have had memories at previously, and now once I'm in this state of nearly my mind being completely absent from my body, I guess, that's how I was feeling. I was just photographing what was in front of me. So like I say, that's why some of the images are a bit more ambiguous. But the landscape, to me, it's not very important, you know, the set specific landscapes and people knowing where they are, because I feel like everybody can connect somehow to these landscapes, and everybody will have their own sort of memories that will be triggered from looking at these photographs. So that's why for me it was important to have this as a journey and have them all on different levels as well, to create that intimacy that I wanted with the work, and that's how I felt. I also developed all these myself at home, so they were all taken on medium format film, and then I developed them at home. So it was really for me getting to know my work, and it was really building that connection with the work as well on the film. So like I mentioned, I have a video in the dark space in the other room as well, but it was important for me to have them separate because I feel like this work just needs to breathe by itself, and then the other work, it's sort of, the video, it delves a bit more deeper into the sort of more site specific of the landscape, more of the location and the dialect there and the time spent. So it has long frames of some of these landscapes in them, all in black and white, and there's a voice speaking in the video. It's only 2.5 minutes, but like I said previously, text is a huge part of my practice, so I wanted to have some type of text or written work within my degree show work. I just didn't think it necessarily suited in here because, like I said, I wanted people to create their own interpretation of the work. But for me, having it in the video made a bit more sense. I also got it translated into Ulster Scots dialect, which is where basically most of these locations are. And for me, it was a way to express my feelings, but because it's spoken in a dialect that maybe people don't really know, or like, you know, it's maybe harder to pick out certain words. It was a way for me to try and express my feelings of vulnerability, but not be totally vulnerable where they don't understand fully what is being said. So the time passing around us, you know, especially it happens whenever you are in this like absent-minded state, and this sort of stillness is around you, where maybe inside you don't feel necessarily this stillness, but the landscape, it's like I said, I keep mentioning, it's about this communication between human and land really. So that's me, and I just want to say a big thank you very much for hopefully making it to the end of this video and visiting the degree show virtually, although it's been a challenge and it's different for all of us. Hopefully we've made a good stab at it, and yeah, thanks very much.